What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, June 30th, 2025, and I have some breaking news to share with you guys. Right now it is 16:01 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Iran. So Iran's Grand Ayatollah Makarem Shirazi has issued a fatwa urging Muslims worldwide to assassinate Trump and Netanyahu, labeling them as enemies of God. Wow. Okay, so one of Iran's grand ayatollahs basically issuing a jihad order. This is extremely concerning. And before I continue with the breaking news, I wanted to mention the sponsor for this update, which is My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a massive sale on their 3-month emergency food supply. You can get 3 months of emergency food, 2,000 calories a day for just $500. That's $200 off their normal price with free shipping included. This food has a shelf life of 25 years, and it's a variety of different types of food. So if you use the link preparewithnyprepper.com, you can save $200 on their 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. That's preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. And right now, over the continental United States, we have some interesting reconnaissance plane activity. Over North and South Dakota, we have 2 RC-135 rivet joints that are flying north to south through North and South Dakota, which means that they're looking east and west at something, some kind of threat. So something is definitely brewing around the U.S. for them to be sending 2 of these recon planes from Stratcom headquarters, not just from any base, but Stratcom headquarters in Offutt Air Base. And there's reports this afternoon of air defense activity and explosions seen by residents of Tehran, the capital of Iran, in the sky. So maybe Israel is attacking Tehran with some drones, but this is pretty interesting. Also, we had an Amazon truck explode in downtown DC. Apparently, the vehicle was fully engulfed in flames on the 2200 block of South Clark Street and was extending into bushes. Okay, so we don't know if that was some kind of terror attack or sleeper cell, but an Amazon truck went kaboom in downtown DC, not far from the White House. And yesterday evening, there was this standoff supposedly between a lone gunman and authorities in northern Idaho, in Kootenai County, just outside of Coeur d'Alene. So apparently this is the shooter, and they're saying that he set a fire just a mile from a crowded housing development, and the forest caught on fire, and when firefighters came to put the fire out, he started shooting at them. Apparently 2 firefighters were killed. 1 is in serious but stable condition. One of the firefighters killed was from the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department. Another one was from Kootenai County Fire and Rescue. But a very strange and disturbing situation over there. Here's a picture of the initial response. You can see they actually had U.S. Marshals on the scene. So a massive response from local, state, and federal authorities there yesterday. And the Kootenai County Sheriff said that they had over 300 law enforcement officers from around the region responding to the incident. And he said that at this time there is no threat to the community. And here's a picture of the Amazon van that went kaboom in D.C. And we have some very disturbing information coming from the Director General of the International Atomic Energy Agency, Rafael Grossi. He told CBS News during a recent interview that Iran could resume its production of highly enriched uranium within a month following recent strikes by the U.S. and Israel, which he states caused severe but not total damage to at least 3 nuclear facilities in Iran. Grossi further added they can have, in a matter of months, I would say, a few cascades of centrifuges spinning and producing enriched uranium, or less than that. Iran has the capacities there, industrial and technological capacities, okay? So he's saying as soon as a month, but within a few months, he's saying they can start spinning up more centrifuges. So this is very, very concerning. And the U.S. intercepted Iranian officials saying this month's strike on the nuclear sites were less damaging than expected, according to intercepted communications recently between senior Iranian officials obtained by the U.S. and reported on by the Washington Post. Last weekend's strikes by the U.S. Air Force and Navy against 3 nuclear facilities in Iran was less devastating and extensive than they had expected, sparking concerns currently circulating within the U.S. government that the Iranian nuclear program could resume activities soon. The communications intended to be private included Iranian government officials speculating as to why the strikes directed by Trump were not as destructive as they had anticipated, and the existence of the intercepted conversations not being disputed by the White House. Wow. Okay, so Iran was shocked by how weak the strikes were, I guess. And the CIA Director John Ratcliffe told U.S. lawmakers that American military strikes delivered a major blow to Iran's nuclear program by destroying its only metal conversion facility, the Associated Press reported on Sunday, citing a U.S. official familiar with the classified briefing. So we have the Trump administration saying that these were devastating, destructive, completely annihilated their nuclear program. And then we have the IAEA saying it only set them back a few months. And then the U.S.'s own Defense Intelligence Agency had a report saying that it only set back the nuclear program by just a few months, okay? And Iran nearly orchestrated a successful assassination of former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in 2022 after the Iranians learned of the Paris hotel where he was staying. This was reported by the Washington Post. Apparently, Pompeo narrowly escaped. Wow. And Trump will sign an executive order to terminate sanctions on Syria today. And the Trump administration is holding preliminary discussions with Israel and Syria on a potential security agreement between the two states. Trump will host Netanyahu at the White House next week on Monday, and the Trump administration just lifted sanctions on several Russian banks close to Putin. And we're also hearing that Russia has massed 50,000 troops near Sumy. That's the town in northern Ukraine near the Russian border, outnumbering Ukrainian forces 3-1. And mass protests continued in Belgrade today. Apparently, last night, protesters blocked several important streets and put up barricades. 77 people were detained, 38 were arrested, and 70 citizens were injured, including 48 police officers, the Serbian Interior Ministry reported. So these are protests against the government. They don't like the leadership in Serbia, and they want change. They want a more pro-West government. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but this could be the beginning of another color revolution in Eastern Europe. And I wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be on the Daily Excellence channel with none other than Pastor Anthony of the Daily Excellence and Steve Quayle. A lot of you guys know Steve Quayle. He's going to be joining myself and Anthony at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow on the Daily Excellence channel. So check that out. I'm going to be posting some information in my community tab about where you can watch that. But that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'll probably be back later on tonight with more breaking news. And until the next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.